Hello again and welcome to 5-Minute Physics. Today's topic is the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so the electromagnetic spectrum looks like this. You've got your gamma rays on one end, the extreme, with the shortest wavelength, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible light, which is all the colors we can see in here, this is all the wavelengths, infrared rays, radar, FM radio, TV, shortwave, and AM radio. Now, this particular chart is organized from smallest to largest wavelength. So these gamma rays have very, very, very short wavelengths, while radio waves can have wavelengths of up to a couple of meters. So let's look at some examples. Radio waves are the first kind of wave that we're going to talk about. Let me center the screen. There you go. Some examples of radio waves are AM and FM radio and television. This is a very common type of wave, and you see it all the time. It's all around us in the world today. The next type of wave is, there we go, microwaves. Microwaves are used in radar, atomic and molecular research, aircraft navigation, and, of course, in microwave ovens. The way that radar and some satellites like satellite dishes like this use microwaves is they'll send out a signal and wait for whatever bounces back. Sonar works the same way, so animals like bats and dolphins use that to navigate and find food as well. Next is infrared waves, or IR waves. IR waves are used in infrared photography, physical therapy, some remote control toys, and of course night vision goggles. This is an image of a person and their horse, and since living things emit more heat generally than non-living things, you can see the horse and the person much better than everything else in the background. They're much brighter. Because that particular camera, as an example of infrared photography, picks up, instead of visible light, infrared waves. So you might see your little remote control trucks or something, if they have the little red screen looking thing on one side. That is an IR emitter, and that's how those work. Next is visible light. That's the kind of light we're most familiar with. It's used in photography, optical microscopy, sorry about that, optical astronomy, and basically everything else that involves seeing anything. So here we have a person standing under a rainbow, which exemplifies the main colors of the visible spectrum, the ones that we're familiar with. Next is ultraviolet, UV light. It's used in the sterilization of medical equipment, identification of fluorescent materials, such as this mineral shown down here, with a black light, which is basically any device that emits UV light. It's also used in tanning salons and at rave parties. UV light is very bad for you, by the way. This is why we invented sunscreen. UV light damages cells and can lead to skin cancer, so be careful about that. X-rays. Speaking of medical problems, X-rays are used for medical examinations, such as these hands shown here. They're usually used to find broken bones or teeth or organs, or basically anything else. If the doctor needs to see what's going on inside, they'll typically use an X-ray. It's very easy and painless. It's also used in some cancer treatments. The short wavelength can kill off some cells, but not all, and effectively get rid of the cancer. And finally, we have gamma rays, the shortest wavelength, which are very, very dangerous. Gamma rays are primarily used for food irradiation, some cancer treatments again, and the examination of thick materials if you're looking for structural flaws. Food irradiation, it basically just kills off anything that is not the food itself, so that it doesn't have any microbes or anything in it that can make people sick. And in this image here you can see that gamma rays are theoretically emitted by black holes, and since also theoretically there is a black hole at the center of most galaxies, this is an artist's conception of what that would look like. And back to the image, just for a moment here. Again, we have from shortest to longest wavelength, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible light, infrared rays, radar, FM radio, TV, microwaves, and AM radio. And that's it for the electromagnetic spectrum. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.